I've had about 200 heart attacks in my life. The whole shebang. Pain in my chest, shooting into my arm, a feeling like Dwayne Johnson is taking a nap on me. No breath seems to make it past my tongue. My heart beats to the rhythm of drunken jazz improvisation. And I'm not even sure how it's possible, but I'm both stiff as a poker and shaking uncontrollably. One worry leads to another until my brain is buzzing with the sound of impending doom. These wannabe heart attacks would faithfully hit me, sometimes several times a day. I've gone to the ER for a lot of them. One time I raced to the hospital because the color of my jeans had rubbed off on my legs. I thought it was a discoloration due to a lack of oxygenated blood to my limbs, most likely caused by heart failure, extreme hypotension, or deep vein thrombosis. What business do I have even knowing about deep vein thrombosis?
Yvonne, thanks for doing this interview.
Sure, thank you.
Tell me about yourself. Who are you?
So I'm Yvonne. I was born in Berlin, in East Berlin actually, behind the wall, which is maybe why I'm a little... No. Anyway.
East Berlin, interesting.
Yeah, and I came to New York when I was 30, I want to say, and yeah, that's when it's kind of like a new start.
And tell me about New York and you in New York, and why New York? Why did you decide to come here?
I actually didn't.
Hey, Louis.
That was Louis, I'm sorry. I actually didn't decide. I totally came on a whim. I just wanted to do something big because I was afraid of flying at the time. And also at a very low point of my life. So I just thought, when you gotta do something big now to like break something. And then I wanted to go to London. But for some reason I decided, it's gonna have to be bigger. And then I just flew to New York, like without rhyme or reason. And then I stayed here, and immediately, like still in the train from the airport, I knew, oh my God, where have you all been all this time? Like,
when you were growing up, were you anxious? Did you ever suffer from anxiety in Germany?
Yeah, well, I got my first panic attack like with 16. So, and from then on, like it was on. So.
Well, let's go back to that first panic attack. Where were you when that happened?
At the movies, and I remember the movie. I mean, I don't remember it but I know it was a John Travolta movie, Broken Arrow. I have not seen it, but I was in there, and just all of a sudden, I just felt like I have a heart. It's doing things. I don't know what's going on. Everything went numb. I was just completely numb, and I'm really lacking kind of the words to even describe what I'm feeling. It's just the end. Like something is ballooning, and it's like a call to action. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? This is death. And then I left the movie, and my friend rushed me to the hospital because I was like, I'm dying. Very dramatic. And we ran through all the red lights. It was not only the panic attack, but the whole situation was very dramatic, like the race through Berlin. And yeah, and then they talked to me like for half an hour. Tell us which drugs he took. Tell us which drugs he took. And I'm like, I didn't take any drugs. I'm dying. And it was horrible because I felt like nobody's helping me because they think I'm just on drugs because that's how it probably looked like. And yeah, and then they kept me there for a week, which is insane if I think about that now.
A week?
Yes. Anyway, so it was very dramatic. And from then it just went on and on and on and on and on. It was just a life in terror, basically. I didn't really talk to anybody about it.
Did you not talk to your family?
Well, it was kind of because I told you I grew up in East Germany, so after that, like I was 10 when the wall came down, but our parents, they call us the lost generation because our parents kind of like were gone in the aftermath because they didn't know how this worked, right? The new country. I don't know, they were just preoccupied. The way that I see it now as a grown-up is, to be a parent and to be there and to be present, you kind of have to know who you are, what you're doing anyway. And, you have to imagine this generation of parents back then, even though it was already like 6 years after, they had to learn everything and knew none of anything what they knew was still valid, and also they were told this was all bullshit. What you know, so we were all, the way that I see it now is we were all kids.
And when did it change for you, or what has changed?
What has really changed everything was really there, because I always felt like I like all these other things like CBT, and you know, these are all great things and they help, but they it's kind of to make yourself better before, to prepare yourself so that you maybe in the moment can deal with it a little better, but they don't help in the moment. Like when I'm literally thinking that my organs are about to explode, I can't sit there and waste time by breathing. I gotta take care of this. So there was the first time when I thought it made so much sense to me, like in the moment you just break this tsunami. And when I tried it, it worked. So that was the big change in how I approached the whole thing.
Well, you wrote a really good article on it that you posted on Medium. I thought it was very eloquent and describes in really good detail what it's like.
And then I dared. Dare, an approach by Irish expert on overcoming anxiety, Barry McDonagh, was the only method that ever helped me. I had tried it out a few years ago already, but facing the end of the world as I knew it, I fully recommitted to its technique.
In a world where anxiety silently devastates lives, I'm Barry McDonagh, creator of DARE, the self-help program that has empowered hundreds of thousands worldwide to escape the grip of panic and anxiety. In this series, I'm in the US to meet 10 brave people to talk about their greatest fears.
I've got all that adrenaline.
Don't fear for your life, I'm a good driver actually.
I don't want to be known as the guy that hurt you.
And how they dared to win back their freedom.
No!